inflicted by Africa's wealthy and powerful elite. The Pope said this during a visit to Nairobi's Kangemi area on Friday. On the last day of his 3-day visit to Kenya, Pope Francis spoke of the dreadful injustice of urban exclusion represented in the slums. He criticized faceless private developers who hoard areas of land. The Pope, making his first visit to the continent, has championed the plight of the poor. He has urged Africa's governments to do more to lift their people out from poverty. All right, for a wrap of the Pope's visit to Kenya now, we are joined on the line by our East Africa correspondent, Sarah Kimani. Sarah, the Pope ended his Kenyan visit with an address to the youth, and we know he had indicated that he was much looking forward to that meeting. What did he say to the youth?
Good afternoon, Alicia. Maybe just before I tell you what he said about the youth, just a recap of what he said when he toured that church that you have talked about there, the St. Joseph the Worker Church in Kangemi. Probably one of the most hard-hitting statements he has given yet. He spoke about the rich elite and the people in leadership being unable to, or oppressing the poor, talking about faceless land developers who take away land from the poor. He also spoke about the poor and people who live in urban informal settlements being denied of their basic services. And when he spoke to the youth at the Kasarani Stadium, there were about 10,000 young people who cheered him as he entered the stadium. And when he spoke to them, he spoke about the ills of corruption, he spoke about tribalism, and he concentrated very much on corruption and radicalization of the youth. On corruption, he said that it should not be made a way of life because he said it kills countries and kills people and makes women to suffer. On radicalization, he challenged governments in Africa to work more towards educating young people and offering them job opportunities to ensure that they're not lured into issues of terrorism.
Sarah, look, his trip was meant to heal wounds and also build bridges between the Christians and the Muslims. Did he achieve that?
He largely did that. Yesterday, he held a meeting with religious leaders where he insisted that dialogue between different faiths, between different religions is very, very important so that none of the religions is seen as the one that is championing violence. And when he spoke today at Kasarani Stadium where he met the youth, he actually asked them to hold hands. And when they were holding hands, he spoke to them about tribalism and about divisions and saying that the only way for the country to heal is for people to come together and shun tribalism and negative ethnicity.
Sarah, what else came out of the Pope's visit? I mean, are Kenyans still, of course, celebrating this historic visit?
Yes, they are. Take, for example, if it was about prayers being answered, President Kenyatta, on the first day that Pope Francis landed in the country, he had asked him to pray for him personally in his fight against corruption. And so today when he addressed it, it's probably one of those prayers being answered. But also, a lot of Kenyans had spoken to them wanting to hear him speak about corruption. Maybe they thought if it comes from an outsider or a person who is seen as a spiritual father to many, then leaders will listen. He spoke about inequality, an issue that faces a lot of people here. He spoke about poverty, issues of land grabbing. Land grabbing and land issues are very emotive in Kenya. So you can say for sure that the expectations of Kenyans have been met. As we speak now, he's airborne headed to Uganda, where he will be there for 2 days.
Thank you so much for that. That's Sarah Kimani giving us a wrap of the Pope's visit to Kenya.